So hello once again to all my fellow paranormal enthusiasts. Hope you have a fine day and hope you had a good Easter. So this is the fourth and the final part of my four-part video that I have titled Technology Behind the Paranormal Investigator, or Tech Behind the Ghost Hunter. That sounds almost even better. Anyway, so this is part 4. So part 1 was the intro, of course, and I did all the other basic instruments. Second one was on audio. Third one was on video, and this one's going to be on playback and analysis. So you got all these files. You've got your pictures, you've got your audio files, and you got your videos. Now it's time to go back and take a look at it and see what you got. So how can we do this? Okay, to put up front, first of all, me and my team, we are really big on proper documentation and credibility. So we lean a lot more towards that pretty heavily. So this is going to be, this particular one on playback is going to be a very subjective and biased video. I'm going to put out all the facts, but include the things that we did and how we did it and why we did it in our playback. So, playing back the video. You can play back your video. Of course, you've got the devices. You've got your tablets, you've got your laptop, you've got your desktops, whichever you choose. And then even to make it more fun and interesting, each one of those three has Apple iOS operating system, Android operating system, and Microsoft Windows, however you want to do it. Okay, our personal choice was Windows, because yeah, it was our personal choice. I could rant forever on Android and iOS. Anyway, so you have all your voices. What we usually do after we get them on, we'll wait 1 or 2 days after the investigation. And then what we'll do is we take all the files that we've got, the multimedia files. We have one set that we copy to our server, and everybody on team has access to the server. Another set of files, another copy of the files goes to just the workstation for viewing and for analysis. And then of course, if we're working with the customer, we of course give him access to all the files too. Or he can come over here and take a look at the workstation and view it through us, or laptop, however he wishes to do it, his call. Okay, so we've got all that. Now then, the next part is, which one do you use, how do you do it? Well, what we did is I built a multimedia workstation desktop. And how we did it was, we took our own parameters and stuff. We looked online. There wasn't anything really. We would have to order it and then order a bunch of parts to go with it. So rather than do that, because they didn't have what we really wanted and what we were trying to do, so we ended up just we sat down. The whole team sat down. We went through the specifications of what we were trying to do, what we wanted to accomplish, and how we wanted to accomplish it, and then we went from there. And then I built the system, installed the software, and we've been up and going. So in our particular instance, we'll start with the viewing part. All operating systems have their own viewers, pictures, sound, audio, movie viewing. But because of our equipment, we ran into some issues. So what the parts we picked and how we assembled our workstation was dependent on the hardware, which was the cameras and the audio, and what software. Because you have standard viewing, in my opinion, you have viewing is when you sit there and watch it, and then you have analysis. Analysis is when you really go into the files, really look into them deeply, look for that other small thing that you might not have seen when you were initially viewing at it. Frame by frame, sound by sound, so forth. So, we'll go into it. First priority to our system was, of course, audio. Now then, we have the viewers and so forth that comes with the operating system, and then we bought some third party because we found out that in Windows, same thing with Apple and with Android, some things we wanted to do and the operating system, of course, that's why you have third party software. Alright, so let's start with audio. Situation we ran into audio. I'll bring it up that our audio recorder records in the very, very high, fast HD sample rates, and with these new file names, AAF, WAV, OGG, and so forth for high fidelity, the real high sample rate stuff. The situation you got with that to remember is a lot of systems, this is a relatively new format, and plus the electronic parts and paying for the licenses for the codecs adds to the cost of the system. So we had to be cautious on that one, and I relayed that information onto you also, in that you have to, through the audio, the electronics is different, all the electronics in the computer is different, and the speakers to do HD audio. So we made sure that it could handle the new 4 file formats, and our speakers, we purchased something that's called studio monitors. And these are high-end speakers. The main objective of a studio monitor is so that you hear what you recorded. No manipulation of frequencies, no highs, lows. It's all flat so that you hear exactly what you recorded. So if you want to do any manipulation of the audio at a later date, that's when you get into your audio recorders, your audio software. So for audio, we did 2 of them. I'll even get into what we did. So one suggestion for audio software, and it's free. It's a really nice piece of software. It's pretty powerful. It didn't do everything we needed it for it to do, but it worked pretty good, and that's a piece of software called Audacity. I recommend you download it and play with it. It's pretty hefty, pretty robust, but there's some other things that we wanted to do that it didn't. For example, Audacity couldn't handle the HD formats. It would play it, but it would change the sample rate to what it could play with. So it was pretty good for that, but for analysis, what we did is we went with a piece of software called SoundForge. SoundForge handles the high resolution audio. It also has a spectrum analyzer. It's got a waveform analyzer, and it can take care of the noise floor and all that kind of stuff that we needed when we analyze. So that's why we went with SoundForge. And before I get into that, another important thing that we found out about, one of the specs that we found out about in researching all of our software is the developers have come up with another way to take us for some more money. So do your research, check what you got. We did not want to go with, and I warn strongly against, purchasing any kind of software that is cloud-based. Adobe's bad for that. I think everything that Adobe does is cloud-based. In other words, if you don't have internet, your computer don't work. You can't use your software, you can't do nothing. We didn't like that. All of our files and everything are stored in-house, and we don't want to have anything to do with the cloud. And you don't want to have to worry about that problem if for some reason someplace somewhere they're having an internet problem and stops us from doing our job. So I strongly recommend, if you have to pay a monthly fee, it's cloud-based. So do your research. So okay, so that was for the audio. Then we had another situation on our pictures. So you can have your regular picture software. The problem we had was that the software that comes with the operating system, it can see, no, it's on, in some instances it couldn't even see the file. Our cameras are taking, I can't remember what the exact numbers are, but we're taking some very, very high resolution pictures. And the software that came with Windows, and I suspect probably both Android and iOS, their picture viewers, I guess someone will still see them, but they'll downsize the resolution so they can put it up on a screen. And we didn't want that. We wanted to see we want to take advantage and be compatible with our cameras. So the software we ended up having to purchase to use, we chose Corel Photoshop Pro, because it did all the analysis stuff and everything that we wanted it to do, and plus it saw the native resolution of the picture that we took. So that's why we went with that. So it's another one to be cautious on that side. Then you go to the video. That was another world. Okay. All right. We're shooting in 4K 60 frames per second. Again, the operating software's viewers does not see 4K. What they do is they do some downsizing, some reinterpretation for something so it can match your hardware and the monitor that you got on your computer. So it's not, they don't even have the capability naturally, and particularly in the Windows operating system, to natively show a 4K video. So to be able to show 4K video, let alone analyze it, we ended up purchasing a piece of software that's called Wondershare. Oh, really? Filmora 10. Wondershare Filmora 10. Because another situation we had is we do in 4K and it has to be able to be compatible with 60 frames per second. So going along with that, our video card and our monitor, we're running dual monitors. Both monitors are 27-inch 4K 60 frames per second monitors. So we can go in great detail. We can do the zooming, and don't have to worry about the pixelating and that kind of stuff you do when they downgrade the video. The 1080 and the 720, yeah, your machines will still be able to see 4K, but they'll downsize it to whatever they can view. So you might be looking at a 4K file, but you're not watching a 4K video or 60 frames per second. Most monitors are still, again, just like with the audio and same thing with the video, the higher the quality, the higher the frame rate, the higher the sample rate, the more expensive that computer is going to be. So something to take into consideration. So, like I said, we will dual monitor for a reason when working, and 4K we're using Filmora. So that pretty much takes care of everything with the audio and video. Any questions or points you want to take out, please leave comments below. Be greatly appreciated. We appreciate it if you joined and liked. Let me know how I'm getting along with these videos. If there's anything that we might be able to change. And I hope you watched all 4 videos. So, and saying that, hope you had a good weekend, good holidays, and these are my final words. Later.